Hey, it's Dr. Amanda with Straightsmile Solutions, straightsmilesolutions.com, and we're going to talk a little bit more about what happens after you deliver an expander, an RME, an RPE, a Schwartz, some type of expansion device in the mixed dentition or permanent dentition in a growing child meant to expand the arches and open the airway. What can go wrong when it goes wrong? And this doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong. It's kind of normal, but you need to know how to answer the questions because you're going to get questions. All right. So let's and I have a whole set of other videos that go over fabricating the RPE, choosing fixed or removable, if you're doing fixed, where to put the clasp, why you need clasp, other types of modifications from anterior bite plates, fixed bite plates, posterior bite plates, blah, blah, blah. So how to write the lab slip, so much, delivery instructions, turn instructions. You can watch all of that, of course, for either for free through our YouTube channel. You can just search by keyword RPE or Schwartz. I believe there's also a phase one playlist on the homepage of my YouTube channel. You can watch that. You have to kind of click around till you find them because there's a lot of content in there. Or if you want something that literally takes you from A to Z, teaches you from A to Z about expanders in a logical order, you can go to our phase one educational series, which has 13 CE units. It's available at cezoom.com, or if you go to my website, Straightsmile Solutions, and you click on classes, you will see it there. Now, at one point I had a few promo codes left, and I can't post it because there's only a few. So you'd have to email me. If you email me, I will email them and see if there's still promo codes, and I will introduce you. And hey, it might save you 10-20%. It's worth it. That's some money. So shoot me an email if you're interested. First come, first serve. Don't know if we still have them. Okay. Now let's get to the meat of the story. Let's break down the different types of discomfort. And I don't like to use pain, so I like to use discomfort. So first thing, what's really nice after you deliver one of these is to give the patient a call the next day. I always do that whenever I did braces or any type of major appliance. Just give them a courtesy call. If you just leave a message, that's fine too. You could also shoot a text, but you got to make sure it's HIPAA compliant. But just check it in, see how you're doing, because it's rough. So the first day, it's not like super painful, but it's just getting used to having something in your mouth all the time. If it's fixed or permanent, you got to get used to eating. That's a hard part. The removables may be a little easier, but compliance is an issue, remembering to take it in and out. So just check in. And then occasionally you have that mom freaking out calling that my daughter's in pain. So that's where we need to find out, okay. So usually what I'm going to recommend that they do, if I can't get the information off the front end, is to have them keep a journal for a week. Talk about when they're wearing it, if it's removable, which should be all the time, but when it comes in, when it comes out, when they do the turn, etc. And then to also list when they have discomfort and what the level is. From 0 is nothing, 5 is so bad I'm almost in the hospital, and 10 is I'm so severely in so much pain I cannot function, that kind of stuff. I must go to the hospital. So have them do that for about a week. And so usually taking this week, you're hearing them, you're listening. Obviously if they say they can't even do that, then they need to come in. We've only gone one turn, so it's not a big deal. I'm going to check it. So different types of things. Now, first of all, let me take another step back. I'm assuming if you're delivering these, that you've done a full, thorough cavity perio exam. This child is not just getting an expander. If you're not the one that's doing the exams, if you're an orthodontist or an ortho specialist, you should have a cavity clearance or a perio clearance, depending on the age of the patient, or both. If you're a GP or a pediatric dentist, you should be responsible for your child's own dental health, and I'm assuming you've done a full evaluation, you've taken x-rays, you've checked all the regular stuff, there's no cavities. So, please rule that out first. And things can develop in just a few months. So even if you rolled it out initially, we still always have to circle back. A lot of times when you tell them, granted, I'll kind of do it myself if I'm an ortho, but I'm not going to say that's, definitively this is this kind of cavity, blah, 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 because that is really not in my lane. But I can say there is a cavity. You need to go back to your GP. But definitely, a lot of times when you magically mention going to the general dentist, getting x-rays, and there might be a cavity, suddenly the pain goes away. So, okay, so just the use of wearing something new, just like getting a new shoe, that's a great analogy. Getting a new appliance, it's gonna be a little funky, could be a little bit discomfort. She can take some Motrin or Tylenol. as directed by her physician the first few days. I just say that at the delivery. If they're having fixed, it's going to be a lot trickier because of the eating. It's going to, you're eating, you're banging things into your gums. So start with a soft diet for the first few weeks. Doesn't have to be smoothies, but there's a lot of soft foods, mashed potatoes, baked potatoes, pasta, things like that. Sure, you lasagna, soft enough to eat with braces. We're not going for tacos, okay? Or pizza. You can eat the mushy part of the pizza, but not the crust. Stay on the soft food diet until you're ready to move on. If you got braces, you're on a relatively soft food diet anyways. All right, so let's do that. The talking is a lot of times they're saying they're in pain, but it's just because they're embarrassed about the talking. Listen, you never get these delivered like right before a school day. You always want to do this during the summer or the beginning of a break. Give them time to adapt to wearing it, because there's nothing worse than showing up to school. I remember these friends that showed up to school with these big bulky appliances, and all of a sudden they're like, bleh, bleh. It's nasty. They're spitting. It takes time to get used to it. Your body will adapt in a few weeks with the saliva and the speech, as long as you practice talking with it in. And you will just have to practice talking with it in. And it may not be 100% exactly your speech, but it'll be good enough. Okay, so we got that part out of the way. We got the whole cavity perio part out of the way. That was the other issue. And then lastly, it could be something, it goes back to, well, how was it when you delivered it? When you delivered it, was it a straight shot, nice and snug for the fixed, or was it loose? Or was it so tight that you barely got it cemented? You don't want to be delivering garbage. If it's not straight shot, drop in, it wasn't, either your scan wasn't right or the lab did something wrong. In that case, I always get it remade. I don't fiddle with it. I say, sorry, this isn't fitting, remake. Don't try to deliver something that's subpar, because you're going to have just weird things happen later. Lots of weird things. Same thing with removable. Case selection, you can't be picking removable cases if they're in early mixed dentition or late mixed dentition and they're missing a lot of like they're listing their C's, D's, and E's, and we're kind of in that transitory period. We need those teeth for retention. The only time that removable Schwartzes are good are either in the early mixed dentition when you still have all your C's, D's, and E's and you're in that latency period, or after the 3s, 4s, and 5s had come in. Do not do Schwartzes in the middle mix, unless you're looking to pan out and like they're not going to lose any teeth for 4 to 6 months. Okay, then I'm okay with it. But otherwise, if teeth are coming in and out, it's going to be wobbly. You're going to have to adjust it like crazy. That's something I should have been more firm on. And then the other thing is, when you're picking your teeth to band, I always band the E's. The E's. That's your baby teeth, your A, your J, your K, and your T, I think. I band those in children as long as those 5s aren't coming up for the next 6 to 8 months. Obviously, I'm going to check the x-ray. The roots need to be less than half developed. The E's will get banded. Way more comfortable. And you can always have an extension soldered to the 6 that goes back. But your patient is going to be way more comfortable if you do that. So band the E's and not the 6s, because you band the 6s, you're going to have the issue of the 7 banging up against the end of the band, and it's really pinchy back there. Nobody likes that. So just, picking which teeth to band. So rocking of the appliance, rocking not fitting well, bands not fitting well, bands wobbling around, or, if it's a removable appliance and they are not wearing it consistently, but they're still turning, it's going to start rocking, and the rocking is going to cause pain, both tooth pain and everything else. So all of this was all like the normal stuff that I talked about. Now I'm going to talk about the not normal stuff. Like, this is stuff that's normal. You'll see in every ortho office. You just have to get used to scripting and answering these questions and reassuring these parents that everything is fine. And of course, it comes down to you picking the right appliance for the age and the dental age of the patient, picking the right teeth to band when needed, deciding which one is removable, which one's fixed. You have to pick correctly, or you're going to have discomfort. And your lab being good, and you guys taking good scans. So all of this needs to come together, and it should just be easy breezy. So, okay, let's talk about abnormal discomfort. And abnormal discomfort usually only comes when the patient turns inconsistently, either too rapid in too much succession, or, same thing. Too much, it bunches it up, and doesn't do the turns as directed, whether you're doing one every 3rd day, one every week, one every 2nd day, something like that. I don't want 5 turns in one day and then trying to wear it because it's going to be painful. Or the patient who has a removable is not wearing it 23 hours a day and trying to shove it in their mouth. Yeah, that's going to be painful. So, and also you can take your You're gonna definitely have some pressure and discomfort. It's totally normal after a turn. So you take the Motrin first, it's bedtime, you put it in and go to sleep. By the time you get up, the pain's gonna be gone. Maybe another day you can take one more Motrin and you're fine. You're gonna forget about it until the next time. Normal. Don't do it before school, they're gonna be miserable. So last thing, which is I guess the scariest part, and this is, I've only seen this a few times and I don't even think these were my patients. These were patients, both fixed and removable, I've seen, where they were just too old to be getting these appliances, like too old. And I know there's companies out there that say that you can expand in adults, and good on them, but I've only seen bad things happen in the adults that I've seen, traditional expansion devices, be it fixed. I know now there's different types of implant retained ones, and I'm not talking about that because I didn't do those. Anything I did that was surgical was always done under the leadership of an OMFS, oral surgeon. But yeah, if you try to turn and the bone is just too cemented, and granted we took hand-raised x-rays on anything we had, but these were other patients that weren't mine, it's gonna push the molars through the buccal plate. I've seen it happen. Oh, I have definitely seen it happen. You see the roots pushing through the bone, and these teeth are now devitalized, or they're loose, or they gotta get pulled out, and that's some severe pain. So, and I've also seen patients that are getting, because we keep trying to turn and with a fix, and they're getting like significant nosebleeds. A little nosebleeds is normal, but significant, like hemorrhaging nosebleeds, that's a sign that something is wrong in the floor of your nose. And I don't know if there's a polyp in there or what, but you need to stop and send this patient to ENT because something's not right. So those are the only like scary bad things I've seen in terms of discomfort, but we still need to treat every patient like it could possibly be scary bad, just to rule that out, because nobody should be experiencing any of this. All right, hopefully that was a lot of information. Hopefully that helped. Thanks.